Yes, good morning to everybody. As in the last class, we are discussing about the transistors, and yesterday when I said the transistors are important overall in electronics, but in as compared to our syllabus, it is also important because so many topics there are related to the transistors. And yesterday we discussed about basic about transistors. Still, we'll go for another one important function or the important thing in the transistor. That is about the VI characteristics of transistor. And before that, yesterday I said about what is transistor and what is the meaning of transistor and what is the basic function of transistor, and also what are the, in broad you can classify the two types of transistor. That is I said about unipolar junction transistor and also the bipolar junction transistor, and also we studied about what is the major difference about unipolar and also about the bipolar. As I said already, in unipolar nothing but the current contact takes place only in the majority carriers. But as in your bipolar junction transistor, the current is because of both majority as well as minority carriers. Or you can say about in your unipolar, the current is because of electrons or hole, any one. But as in your bipolar, the current is because of both. It may be because of electrons or it may be because of the holes. That is the major difference about your unipolar junction transistor and about the bipolar junction transistor. And yesterday I said this also, the example for unipolar is nothing but your FET and bipolar is nothing but your BJT. The example for your unipolar is nothing but FET and for your bipolar, the example for bipolar is nothing but the BJT. And also you studied about the important function of the transistor, because I said transistor very more importance because the most important application of transistor is user amplifier. And nowadays in general also we want very less work but we want more the output. It means you have to do very less task but you want more big things. That is nothing but the amplifiers. It means in amplifiers we are giving very low input signals but you will get the very high output signals. That is nothing but your amplifiers. And transistor, it is used as a amplifier. And also another important yesterday I said about it is also used as a switch. And switch nothing but especially you are using in digital electronics. That's why another important about transistor, it is used analog as well as digital devices. In analog device you are using about it is used as amplifier, but in digital we are giving more importance to the switching action to make it on and off very fast. In that time you are using about the transistors. It means transistor, it is used in the analog as well as the both in the digital devices. And yesterday you were discussing about the NPN and PNP transistors. You have done the types in the BJT. One is called NPN transistor, another is called the PNP transistors. And we said about construction and everything. I said the NPN nothing but a N-type semiconductor sandwich between the two P-type semiconductors, and in the same way the PNP nothing but a N-type semiconductor sandwich between the two P-type semiconductors. Here I'll ask one small question. As we know already, you studied in your diodes, if you use only the P-type semiconductor or if you use only one N-type semiconductor, it is no use, because the property of the P-type semiconductor, N-type semiconductor, they are electrical neutral. That's why you are not using the single or alone or separate the P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor. And if you combine the P-type and N-type semiconductor, they are having so many applications, so many functions. And another important thing, as yesterday we discussed, in the transistor you are having the 3 terminals, or you can say about 3 layer 2 junction semiconductor device. What is the use of another layer? As we know, in your diodes you are using only P and N type semiconductors. You are using only P and N type material. But as in your transistor you are using another one P, or you are using another one N. It means actually you are in your diodes. This is the block diagram of diode. As we know already, P and N. It means you are using only the 2 types of semiconductors. One is P type, another is the N type. But as yesterday I said, in your transistor you are using the 3 layers or 3 type of semiconductor you are using. One is nothing but the N type semiconductor and P type semiconductor and N type semiconductor. Here, as compared to the diode and transistor, one terminal is extra, one layer is extra. What is the use of one layer? It means that's the most important thing. As in your diodes, it is not possible to control the output, but because of this you are adding another one layer, you are adding another layer to the transistor. Because that layer we can control the current. As we know about in the transistors, we can control the current. That is nothing but input current, nothing but IB, and output current, nothing but IC. Another important thing, maybe you know already, the transistor is called as current control device. The transistor is called as current control device. And why we call as it is a current control device? It means as in your transistor, the output voltage or output current that depends upon the input current. That's why it is called as current control device. It means the IC that depends upon the IB. It means if you want to increase the output current, nothing but it depends upon the input current IB. That's why the transistor is called as current control device. It means the output current IC that depends upon the input current IB. It means that IB nothing but you are using one extra layer, because that extra layer can control the current. That layer is not there in your diodes. That's why it is not possible to control the output. Right? This is also important one function of your transistor. And as I said about NPN transistor, in most of the cases we are using the NPN transistor. Yesterday I said already. It means because the one reason is very simple. The majority carriers are electrons. And second one is about the mobility of the electrons will be more than the mobility of holes. And lastly, about it is very easy to fabricate in ICs. That is about NPN transistors. And finally, I said about the most important thing about how the working principle of NPN transistor, or how your NPN transistor conducts, or how it works. And because before that, as I said, the important condition of transistors, if that condition not satisfied, your transistor not works, it is not conducting. What is that condition? As I said, the input should be the forward bias. The condition of transistor is nothing but the input should be forward bias and output should be reverse bias. If this condition not satisfied, it is your transistor is not conducts, it is not works. This is nothing but the important condition of your transistor. That is nothing but input should be forward bias or output should be reverse bias. And by knowing this condition, we are going further. See the working principle or how it conducts or operation of your NPN transistors. And we know already about the first we go for the block diagram. It is having the 3 layers, and yesterday I said about it is having the emitter, base and collector, N, P, N. And here I just said already emitter, base and collector. Emitter, base and collector. Here to make it the input as forward bias. What you have to apply? You have to apply the negative of the battery, or you have to apply the negative voltage to the N-test semiconductor. That becomes the emitter base should be forward bias. The condition is nothing but the always if transistor is conducting nothing but we have to make it the input as forward bias. It means the emitter base should be forward bias and collector base should be reverse bias. To make it out reverse bias, we have to apply the positive supply here, or you have to apply the positive voltage here. And this is nothing but VCC, and this is nothing but your VEE. Look here, yesterday I said already about in simple way of working of your NPN transistor. Now we'll take one example. Especially yesterday I said about here you are finding the what is the input current IE and what is the emitter current, what is base current, and also study about what is the collector current. What is the input current? It means the emitter current, base current, and collector current. As I said already, because of the your emitter base is forward biased, what happens? As we know already, in the N-test semiconductor, you are having the more number of electrons, or we can say about the majority carriers are electrons, and holes are the minority carriers, and also we are having the donor ions. And what happens actually because of the forward bias, and also because of the your electrons will be repelled by the negative battery, they move towards the junction. It means because of the forward bias, and yesterday I said here also you are having the depression layer, here also one depression layer, and here also one depression layer. And as we know already, because of the forward bias, this emitter base section depressed is very small because we are applying the forward bias. As we know already, in the forward bias the depression layer decreases. Because that is what happens, the electrons they move, and also they will be repelled by the negative battery, they move towards the base. It means the moving of electrons from emitter to base, that is nothing but the emitter current. As we know already, what is current? Nothing but moving of charges, flowing of charges. Here also the electrons they move from the emitter to the base. That moving of electrons from emitter to base is nothing but the IE, that is nothing but your emitter current. And here actually I said we have considered the base is very lightly doped, and as yesterday I said we have done purposely the base is very lightly doped. Because of the it is very lightly doped and very small, what happens, whatever the electrons they come towards the base, what happens, because of it is very lightly doped, only the 2 to 5% of your electrons they will recombine in the P region. It means, as we know already, in the P region you are having the more number of holes, or you can say in the P region the majority carriers are holes. Actually, whenever the electrons they move towards the base, then what happens, only the 2 to 5% they will recombine in the base, and they move towards the base. It means, as we know already, whenever the electron recombine, they will give the some current. That current is nothing but the ID. That is nothing but your base current. And what about your IC? Nothing but, because here you are having the reverse bias. As we know already, the collector base section reverse bias. And also we know about the important function of collector. What is the important function of collector? To collect the charge carriers. And because of here the reverse bias, you are having the very more depression layer. And as we know already, you are applying very high voltage in the output section, because to make it reverse bias we have to apply the very high voltage. Because of this high voltage, what happens, the electrons will be attracted towards the positive terminal, because you are applying very high voltage, and this electron they can easily move from the base to the collector. Because if you are having the the more depletion layer, no doubt, but still we are applying very high electric field. This electric field attracts the electrons, and because of that reason what happens, whatever the electrons they are there in the base, they move towards the collector. It means actually that also we know in the collector base section reverse bias, but in the reverse bias we are having only minority current, eta. And also here in the P region, the electrons of the minority carriers, that electron move towards the collector. It means because we know in the P region the holes as the minority carriers, and also in the output you want the minority current. That minority current nothing but the electrons, they move towards the collector. That is the moving of electrons from the base to collector. That current is nothing but the IC, that is nothing but your collector current. And finally, the whatever the electrons they collected by the collector, they move towards the positive supply. It means you can write about the finally the important relation IE is equal to IB plus IC. This is the important relation, IB plus IC. And this I said about in the yesterday's class. And you are having one confusion, how will you get the base current? Because as you studied in the semiconductors, diodes, whenever the what I said about base current, we are not having a doubt on emitter current and collector current, because they are moving of electrons, holes will get the current, that we know already. But important thing, you are having some confusion on about the base current, because what I said base current, whenever the electrons and holes recombine, they will give the base current. But actually we know already, whenever we are combining the electron holes, what happens? They will be neutralized, they will disappear. Then how will get the current? But I have seen so many books, they are given this much only. But because of the you studied in the diodes and you are having some knowledge about the semiconductors, actually what happens here? I take one small example. You consider here you are applying the 100 electrons to the emitter. We are applying the 100 electrons to the input. But as I said, it is your input section and this is your output section. It means we want 100 electron come to the output. We want 100 electron come to the output. But as I said already, because of the forward bias, whatever the electrons we are given by the negative terminal, that electrons they move towards the base. It means nearly the here 100 electrons, this 100 electron they come towards the base. But in base what happens? As I said about only the 2 to 5% of electrons will recombine, because it is so lightly doped. It means actually what happens? The remaining 98% of electrons they come towards the emitter. The only the 2% of current they will give the base current. Actually what happens? Here you are applying the 100 electrons, but the 100 electron they come towards the base. In the 100 electrons only the 2 electrons and 2 holes they will recombine. It means you are having only the you are missing only 2 electrons and 2 holes. Remaining you are having the 90 electron coming towards the collector, but you are deficiency of 2 electrons and 2 holes. And as you know the basic about whenever we are electron will recombine, what happens? They will give some energy, and because of that energy we can as we know about in your semiconductors, that will give us some energy. Whenever the electron hole recombine, they will give us some energy. That energy will break the covalent bonds. We want to always, we know already basics, without breaking the covalent bond we are not getting any current. And how to break the covalent bonds means here we are applying some energy. That energy nothing but whenever the electron hole will recombine, they will give us some energy. Because that energy we can break the covalent bonds. And as we know already, whenever you are breaking the covalent bonds, what happens? We will get the electron hole comes in pairs. they'll come automatically both they comes automatically both. It means whenever you are breaking the covalent bonds, it means they comes in pairs. It means electron hole come, and actually what happens, you are breaking the you are working in the two times, because we are having the only the 2% of electrons. I can say about only 2 electron to hole will recombine. It means we can break the 2 times the covalent bonds. And one time breaking we will get the 1 electron, one hole. Another time you are breaking you will get the 1 hole and 1 electron. Actually the electron they move towards the base here, and hole move towards the p side. It means actually what happens, whenever you are breaking the covalent bonds, you will get hole and electrons come in pairs. That electron coming out of the base, and remaining we are missing 2 holes that will move towards the p side. It means by breaking the covalent bonds we get the electron hole comes in pairs, and that electron they coming out of the base, that current is nothing but the base current. It means not only whenever the electron hole recombine, it is not a base current. It means whenever the electron hole recombine, they will give some energy. Because that energy we can break the covalent bonds, and whenever you are breaking the covalent bonds, what happens, we get the electron hole come in pairs. That electron come outside of the base, and hole that move towards the junction. This is about the important about the base current. So many students having the doubt on how you get the base current. Very simple, because I said about here you are given the 100 electrons, and 98 electrons they come towards the collector. Because I said this electrons, because of the positive supply, these electrons will attract the positive supply, and we will get the 98 electron come outside of the collector, and remaining here you are having the 98 you are coming from the collector, and you are having the 2% of your base, and remaining you will get the 100 here. It means you are applying the input as, it means you can write this equation, IE equal to IB plus IC. It means how much you will apply to the input, you are applying the input as 100, and you will get the base current nothing but 2%, and remaining about the 98% they come from the collector, we get the 100 is equal to 100. It means how much your applied input, that is coming to the output. This is about the very simple way to understand about the NPN transistor. Then we go further. It is so important for your exam point of view. They may be asked for 5 mark question, the working of your NPN transistor. And now we go further. Another important thing about your transistors. As we know already, to connect any device to any circuit, we want the 4 terminals, and 2 for the input and 2 for the output. If you want to connect the transistor to any circuit, what you want? We want the 4 terminals. But as we know already, in your transistor I have only the 3 terminals. And how to make it 3 into 4? It is not possible. Actually we are having only the 3 terminals, but we want the 4 terminal, because we want 2 for input and 2 for the output. And how to make it the 3 to 4? Very simple. As we know about make it any one common to the input as well output. That is very simple. As we want the 2 terminals for input, we want the 2 terminals for the output. And how to make it that? Very simple. Make it any one common. For example, you consider the common base, common emitter and common collector. We have done the modes of transistor. These are called modes of transistors. It means we are having the 3 different modes of a transistor. One is called common base mode, or you can say common configuration. Another is called common collector configuration. Another one called the common collector configuration. It means here the base is common for input as well as output. That is what is called common base configuration. It means the base is common for input as well as output. And here in the CE configuration, what is common? The emitter is common for input as well as output. And in the similarly for your common collector, we are going for the collector is common for input as well as output. And especially you are in these three important configurations, we are giving more importance to the CE configuration. As how you are giving importance to the PNP and NPN transistor, you are giving more importance to the NPN transistor. In the similar way, for you are having three different configurations. It may be common base, common emitter and common collector. In these three configurations, you are giving more importance to the common emitter configuration. Why you are giving more importance to the common emitter configurations as compared to the common base and common collector? As I said already, if you want to use the transistor as an amplifier, which mode you are using? You are using in the mode of common emitter. And why you are using the common emitter mode as in your amplifiers rather than your common base or common collector? In amplifiers, in oscillators, or in whatever you are going for transistors, you are giving more importance to the common emitter configurations. And what is the importance of your common emitter configurations? Look here, another important thing in your electronics, what you are studying, what you are giving more importance in electronics. Whatever you can study, you are giving only importance to the three things. What are the three things? One, you are giving more importance to the voltage. You are giving more importance to the voltage. Next, you are giving importance to the current. And next one, you are giving importance to the power. Whatever or what you are studying in electronics, it contains, you are studying about the voltage, current and power. And I can say very simple is nothing but how to remember this. We can say about voltage nothing but V, and current nothing but, as we know already, I, and power nothing but P. It is nothing but the electronic subjects or electronic students, they are called VIPs. The electron students or electron subject is called the VIP, because in electronics we are giving more importance to the voltage, current and power. And this also said, actually we know about current and voltage, also we know about the power. The voltage is nothing but the lecturers, because voltage is some energy, because that energy will get the current, and current nothing but moving up charges or electrons, and combining the product of current and voltage nothing but the power. It means in your common, why you are giving more importance to the common emitter configuration? Because the most important thing is in your common emitter configuration, you are having the more current gain, you are having the more current gain, also you are having more voltage gain, and finally you are having the more power gain. That's why we prefer the common emitter rather than your common base or common collector configurations. It means as compared to the common base and common emitter, we will give importance to the, or we are using more about common emitter configuration because of the more current gain, more voltage gain and also more power gain. And how to remember this? I said about VIPs. V nothing but voltage, I nothing but current, and P nothing but power. And this also, how to remember this means, as I said already, consider the students as the electrons. Consider students as the electrons. And actually, what is current? Nothing but they are moving up charges or moving up electrons. And as we know, the students, they are always moving. They are not sitting in the same place, and also they are always active. Like that are electrons. And this is about the current, nothing but moving electrons. The students are very fast, they are very active, and also they are not sitting in the same place. Like that are electrons. Electrons also, they are not always, they are revolving, they are not sitting in the same place. And in the same way for voltage, voltage nothing but some energy. That energy nothing but the, you can consider about the students, nothing but the current, and voltage. So voltage nothing but lecturer, nothing but voltage, and we want the power. The power nothing but the product of P is equal to V into I. It means why I said about lecturer as a voltage, because the voltage is nothing but some energy, and because that energy will get the current. It means the lecturer nothing but there is some information. That information is useful for the students. That's why I said about the voltage nothing but lecturers and current nothing but students. It is an example, not true, to simply to understand the current, voltage and power. It means in the overall we are giving more importance to the C complication because of its more current gain, voltage gain and power gain. Then you go for another three important reasons of your transistor. They are so important. What are the three different reasons? Reasons of the transistor. There are three different reasons. That is, first one is called your active reason. Active reason. And second one is called saturation. Saturation reason. And last one is called cutoff reason. Cutoff reason. These are the three important reasons of your transistors, and we go for, as I said already, what are the important application of transistor. The one important application, that is about the amplifiers. And second I said about switch. As we know already, whenever the transistor is in the active region, in that time the transistor is as a amplifier. And what is the active region? The active region nothing but, we can make it the table if you want. The input should be input and output. In your transistor, if the input is in forward bias, output is reverse bias, output is in the reverse bias. This is nothing but your active region. It means whenever the input is forward bias and output is reverse bias, it is considered as a active region. And only in this region your transistor acts as amplifier. The most important application of transistor, it is used as amplifier. In which region your transistor is used as amplifier, means only in the active region your transistor acts as a amplifier. Then we go for the what is saturation region and what is the cutoff region. Saturation nothing but the input should be forward biased and also output should be forward biased. In the saturation region, both input as well as output are in the forward bias. And what is the use of the saturation region? Means, as I said about switch, and we know already, switch is having only two conditions. It may be on and off, or it may be open or close. It means whenever the transistor is in the saturation region, in this time the transistor is used as a on switch. It is also called as on, or it is also called as closed switch. On switch or closed switch. And another is about the, if your transistor is in the cutoff region, it is nothing but, in the cutoff region nothing but both input and also output are in the reverse bias. The input as well as output are reverse bias. In this condition is nothing but the cutoff region. And in cutoff region, as I said, switch having only two conditions, two possibilities, it may be on and off or it may be open and close. Whenever the transistor is in the saturation region, that acts as a on switch. Whenever the transistor cutoff region, that acts as a off switch. It is also called as off switch, or it is also called as open switch. These are the important applications of your transistor, and also these are so important three regions of your transistors. The one is called active region, saturation region, and cutoff region. Active region nothing but input is forward biased, output is reverse biased, and it is used as a amplifier. And in saturation region, input as well as output both are in the forward bias, and that is nothing but saturation. And cutoff nothing but the both input as well as output are in the reverse bias. This is about the cutoff region. And as I said, if the transistor is in saturation region, in that time your it becomes the on switch, and if the transistor in the cutoff region, that becomes the off switch. This is the so important three regions of your transistor. Now we will go for finally the last topic. This is so important for your this much I said. What I said about this is about the introduction. This you studied already in your first year. That's why I not go in detail about that. We'll go for last final. That is so important about your transistors. That is called your input and output characteristics. Input and output characteristics of your CE configuration, CE mode. As I said already, it is so important to understand the second year topics, and also your second year syllabus starts on this input and output characteristics. If you are perfect in input output characteristics, then it is very easy to understand the transistor biasing, and also it is easy to understand the transistor amplifiers. As I said yesterday, your second year syllabus starts from the first topic is about FET, that is field effect transistor, and second topic is about transistor biasing, and third topic is about the transistor amplifiers. To go for the transistor biasing and transistor amplifiers, this input and output characteristics are so important. And now we'll go for the circuit diagram of your input and output characteristics. And as I said so many times in the class, in electronics you are giving more importance to the circuit diagram and graphs. If you have done very small mistake in the circuit diagram or a graph, you are not getting the good marks, then reduce the marks. That's why we are giving more importance in the electronics about the circuit diagram. And as I said, as compared to the common base, common emitter and common collector, you are giving importance to the common emitter configuration. And as I said already, why you are giving more importance to common emitter configuration? Because of you are having the more current gain, voltage gain and power gain. Now we will go for the circuit diagram of your input and output characteristics of a common emitter configuration. And we know already, here we are using the common emitter configuration, and here using this circuit diagram is common for both input as well as output characteristics. They may ask the question in your exam, explain the input characteristics or explain the output characteristics. In that time you have to draw the diagram, and here you are using the apply the voltage here, and here using this is called RC, this is called IC, this is in milliamperes, and here using the VCE, that is output voltage, and this is your common emitter configuration, VCE. You are using about this is nothing but can say V, that is nothing but VCE. This is the output voltage, positive, negative, and here you are using here also using one common base resistor RB, and here using an emitter to measure the IB. IB in microamperes, and here using a VBE. This is the input voltage, VBE, and here you are applying the supply. That is about the VBB. This is your VCC, and here you are applying the, this is your emitter, this is your base, and this is your collector. This is about the, this is nothing but the IC, and this is nothing but your IB. Now you go for the, as I said about, we had explained, this is the circuit diagram for, it is common for both. They may ask the question about the input characteristics, or they may ask the question about the output characteristics. The circuit diagram is common for the both. And first you go for the input characteristics. In input characteristics, we actually are we have to draw the graph, and by the graph you have to explain about the importance of the input characteristics. As we know already, this part is nothing but input, and this part is nothing but output. It means in the input nothing but the emitter base section, that is input, and collector base section, that is nothing but the output. Here the important base and emitter, they are in the input side, and collector and emitter, they are in the output side, because you are writing about VB base to emitter voltage and collector to the emitter voltage. Here we are using the common emitter configuration. That's why the emitter is common for input as well as output. Now we will go for the, you have to vary the input voltage, that is nothing but VBE, and note on the corresponding IB, and rather while make it the output to a constant. You will get the graph like that. Here we get the VK, this is your VBE, and here you get the, it may be the VCE, it may be the 2 volts, this is VCE, the 4 volts, this is nothing but VCE, 6 volts. It means in the input characteristics, what we are varying? We are varying the input voltage, note on the corresponding input current, while fixing the output voltage constant. While keeping the output voltage different values of output voltage, note on the corresponding input voltage as well as input current. This is nothing but the input characteristics. It means in the input characteristics, slowly you are varying the input voltage and note on the corresponding input current, while fix or keep the constant output voltage. Actually, what we will get by seeing that graph, what you can understand? By seeing that graph, what you can understand? And what is the importance of your input characteristics? And one thing here, very simple, by seeing this graph, what you can remember? By seeing this graph, what we can remember? Already studied in first year, that is about this graph you have studied in first year. That is nothing but use the most important about this graph is about, it is similar or it is resemble to the forward bias diode. The graph is similar to the forward bias diode, or the graph resembles to the forward bias diode, because as we know already, in the input side we are having the diode in forward bias, that is something called base emitter section, that is in forward bias. That's why the graph indicates that the graph is similar to the forward bias diode. The first point, important point in the input characteristics, first you are writing the, you are varying the input voltage and note on the corresponding input current while fixing the output voltage. Second point, the graph is similar to the normal diode in the forward bias. And the third point, what you write? As in your diodes, before the new voltage, we are having very small current. After the new voltage, as we increase the input voltage, the current start increasing. Before the new voltage, as we know about 0.7 for silicon, 0.3 for germanium, your diodes start conduct after 0.3 or 0.7. Here also same thing for your transistors also, in the input characteristics, your input current start rising, start increasing after the new voltage. This is about the one important point. Another important point about by seeing the graph. You see here, as you increase the output voltage, what you are getting? The input current decreases. As you are increasing the output voltage, what happens? You see this graph, that is the input current that is decreasing. It means you see this is the VC 2 volts, 4 volts, 6 volts. As we increase the output voltage, what happens? The input current decreases. What is the reason behind this? What is the reason behind this? This is so important thing, that is also called as base width modulation. This is so important, base width modulation. It is also called as base width modulation. It is also called as early effect. Actually, here what happens? As you studied in your first year about the diodes in reverse bias, actually the VCE nothing but the output voltage, and we know already your output section that is in the reverse bias, the output section that is in the reverse bias. And as we studied in your first year, this is your diode in the reverse bias, as we know already, P and N. And if you are applying the reverse bias, nothing but what happens if it is in the reverse bias means, as I said, we are increasing the output voltage. That is something but you are increasing the reverse voltage. If you increase the reverse voltage, what happens? The depletion layer increases. The depletion layer increases. Or you can say this is your block diagram of your transistor. Here we are having the P and N region. N, P and N. Actually here we are applying here the forward bias, that is nothing but here you are applying the reverse bias. Because the reverse bias, what happens? Here applying the, you are increasing the reverse voltage. It means the depletion layer here, we are having the depletion, formation depletion here. As you studied already in the diodes, if we increase the reverse voltage, what happens? The reverse, by increasing the reverse voltage, the depletion layer increases. As we know already, in the forward bias, the depletion layer reduces, but in the reverse bias, the depletion layer widens or it is increases. In the forward bias, it will be decreases, but in the reverse bias, it will be increases. And actually, what happens? As we know already, your emitter is heavily doped and collector also moderately doped, but base is lightly doped. Always the property of the materials, if P-type semiconductor, N-type semiconductor, what is the property of that material? Means whenever as compared to the emitter and collector, the base is lightly doped. It means actually what happens? Because of the reverse voltage, what happens? This depletion layer, they move towards the base, not towards the collector, not towards the emitter. Because as compared to the base, emitter and collector are heavily doped. Always the depletion layer, they move towards the where it is the lightly doped. It means the depletion layer move towards the base. It is not moving towards the emitter, it is not moving towards the collector. Because the emitter and collector are emitter heavily doped, but collector is normally doped. And because of the base, it is so lightly doped. Because it is not occurs, the depletion layer move towards the base. And as we know already the base is lightly doped. Once again you are reducing the size of the base. Already it is slightly doped. It means it is very small space in the base. Once again the depletion layer also move towards the base. It means what I said. It means the depletion layer move towards the base. Nothing but we can reduce the base. It is nothing but reducing the recombination electron holes in the base. And as we know already, what is base current? Nothing but recombination of electron hole is nothing but the base current. And here, as you increase the As you increase the reverse voltage, what happens? The base current decreases. The reason behind is that as the reverse voltage increases in the normal diode or in your transistor, output is having the reverse bias. This output increases, means nothing but reverse bias increases. Then what happens? The depletion layer move towards the base. Already base is lightly doped. Once again you are because this depletion layer also move towards the base, you are reducing the base, and actually what happens in the base? We are having the very small number of electron will recombine, and we get the very small base current as if we increase the output voltage. And remaining thing you see in the tomorrow class. Thank you.